How to jack up a car. A wide variety of automotive tasks, from replacing brake pads to changing a flat, require you to lift up the car. Unless you have access to a full-size hydraulic lift like you might find at a mechanic's, this will mean using a jack. Jacks are generally easy to use, but care must be taken to ensure your safety, especially if you're working under the car. Luckily, this just means following a few common-sense rules. Welcome to our YouTube channel, Auto V Fix. We bring you exciting topics about automobiles and provide clear explanations on car-related issues and essential components. We share helpful and professional tips to help maintain your vehicle. Keep watching to learn how to jack up a car. Taking safety precautions. If you can't meet these safety conditions, or if you are unsure of how to proceed given your conditions, call for help. 1. Park the car on a hard, flat surface. Having the car slip or roll off of the jack can be extremely dangerous to yourself and others. To prevent this, always work on a flat surface away from moving vehicles or distractions. The surface you work on should be hard and sturdy, so that it will not shift or give way while you are working. A concrete driveway or garage away from the road are good examples. A yard is a bad choice, even if it's flat. The dirt may not be strong enough to support the car. 2. Chock the wheels. Chocks are wedge-shaped blocks made from metal and rubber that keep the wheels from rolling. Set a chock in front of each wheel at the opposite end of the car from where you intend to lift. If you don't have chocks, some sources recommend bricks, cinder blocks, large rocks, or wedge-shaped pieces of wood. 3. Double-check that the car is parked. Set the parking brake and ensure the transmission is in P. If the car has a manual transmission, put it in the lowest forward gear. 4. In subpar conditions, take extra precautions. As noted above, the instructions in this section are intended to protect yourself and others in the event the car slips off its jack. If you can't meet the conditions above, but you absolutely must jack up the car, use the instructions below to make the process safer. If you must jack the car on a soft or broken surface, such as a dirt shoulder, use a thick, flat piece of wood to make a stable platform for the jack. If you must jack the car on a slight incline, park next to the curb and turn the wheels into the curb so that they are touching it. This will prevent an out-of-control car from hurting others if it slips off the jack. Similarly, if you don't have anything to block the wheels with, turn the tires into the curb. Never jack the car on the shoulder of a roadway. If you must jack the car somewhere near traffic, put on your hazard lights. If you have flares, cones, or pylons, use these to direct traffic away from you. Raising the car. 1. Find the jack point. Most vehicles have several points along the body where the vehicle is designed to be lifted. If you lift somewhere else, the car's own weight may cause damage to the frame, or worse, cause it to slip off the jack. Luckily, the owner's manual will almost always tell you where a car's jack points are. Typically, there is a jack point on each side behind the front wheels and in front of the back wheels. This will often be next to the rocker panels, the metal or plastic strips beneath the doors. Sometimes, there are 2 more central jack points located just behind the front and rear bumpers. If you're not sure where the jack points are, look for a flat metal area along the pinch weld, the weld running down the side of the car beneath the doors. There may also be a notch that matches the shape of the top of the jack, a cutout in the plastic skirt that exposes metal, or a sturdy plastic block attached to the frame. There may even be a spot labeled jack on the undercarriage. 2. Position the jack under the jack point. Slide your jack underneath the jack point you just found. It doesn't need to be lined up perfectly. You will be able to slide it around until it is touching the car. Make sure the correct side is facing up. If the jack isn't labeled with a "this side up" warning, look in your owner's manual for visual instructions. Typically, the jack will have a wide, flat base and a smaller upward-facing arm with teeth at the edges pointing up into the car's body. 3. Raise the jack. The precise way to do this will depend on which type of jack you have: scissor jacks and hydraulic jacks. As the upper arm of the jack nears the underside of the car, make last-minute adjustments as needed so that it lines up with the jack point. Scissor jacks. These jacks look like two horizontal metal plates with a diamond-shaped mechanism in between. On one side of the jack is a metal hole connected to the main screw drive. Slip the included rod tool through the hole and turn to pull the sides of the jack inward and push the top and bottom of the jack apart. Hydraulic jacks, also called bottle or floor jacks. These look like metal base sections with a lever-like base extending to one side. There is a slot to slip the included rod tool into on one side. Crank the rod up and down in long, steady strokes to pump hydraulic fluid into the cylinder and raise the jack. 4. Lift the car off of the ground. When the jack makes contact with the underside of the car, it will become harder to raise. Keep working the jack upward until you notice the corner of the car leaves the ground. You can stop when the car has enough clearance for you to do your work. For common tasks like changing a tire, just a few inches is all that's necessary. Pay careful attention to any sound or movement while lifting the car. It is common to hear a pop or a thud as the jack shifts slightly. If this happens, check that it hasn't slipped out of position before continuing. Keep all parts of your body out from under the car at all times while lifting it. Though unlikely, serious injury or death can result if the car slips off the jack past this point. 5. If you will be working under the car, use jack stands. Work that requires you to put any part of your body under the car calls for jack stands. These offer a wider, more secure base for the car's weight than ordinary jacks. It is unsafe to work under the car without jack stands. Typical use is as follows. Slip 2. Jack stands underneath the car near where the jack is supporting it. Line the stands up with the pinch weld or jack point. Raise the jack stands until they are nearly touching the underside of the car. Lower the jack slowly and carefully until the jack stands catch the car. If you are not working under the car, for instance, if you are changing a tire, you can proceed without jack stands. Take care not to put any part of your body underneath the car as you work. 6. Lower the car back down when finished. At this point, you are ready to do whatever work you need to do on your car. When you are done, gradually lower the car back to the ground, remove the jack, and put it away. If you are using jack stands, you must first raise the car off of the stands, then remove the stands, and finally lower the car. Here are some tips. To test your jack, or jack stands for sturdiness, before you get under the car or remove any stuck wheels, use your body weight to wiggle the car slightly while it is raised. It is better for the car to slip off its supports before you start than after. If you're changing a tire, unscrew the lug nuts slightly before you raise the car. If you don't, the wheel can turn when you try to unscrew them, making the task much more difficult. Remember, a jack should be used to help lift a car, not to hold it in place while you work underneath. If any part of your body will be underneath the car, jack stands are a must. Thank you for watching our video. If you found this content helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more DIY automotive tips and tricks. Leave your comments below and let us know if there are any other topics you'd like us to cover. Until next time, stay safe.